Okay. 3, 2, 1.
PLDT was actually a pioneer long before the SEC required us to file sustainability reports. So in that way, PLDT is a pioneer in sustainability. But what has happened over the years is the concept of sustainability has also changed, but it's evolved. There's a global definition of what sustainability is, which is basically for us, we've translated it to mean ensuring long-term profitability by doing business responsibly. And then because we connect people, it's also important that we make sure that the people who use our service are safe. Sustainability is no longer optional. From a regulatory perspective, from the customers, particularly if we have young customers, they will look for a brand or a company that's sustainable. From an employee standpoint, they're looking to join a company where they find meaning. And then from the shareholders, from investors, so when I was with investor relations, nobody asked about sustainability in the beginning. Now they send you 2 pages, single space, detailed questionnaire about what you're doing about sustainability. Diba? So hindi na siya optional, it is a must. It is also something that helps drive cost effectiveness, cost efficiency.
From my point of view as a stakeholder engagement, for me, sustainability is, I guess, two-pronged. One is internal. It's making sure that we don't negatively impact the environment and then the people around our business in the course of us doing our business. And it's also nation building. External, it's actively and deliberately engaging the community so that we're able to deliver positive impact in the communities that we serve.
It's how we actually prepare our network, whatever we have right now for the future, right? We come into play, especially if there's disaster, right? So we are in the forefront of that situation, and we see ourselves the need, right, for sustainability, and how we'll be able to make sure we provide still the service not to our customers right when they needed it, right, during the time that they needed it the most.
Our sustainability office has made a lot of strides, because we just recently released our human rights policy, and maybe we'd like to know how that, translates essentially for our company.
We said it's time to parang consolidate in one document our commitment to human rights. That becomes the roadmap also for our suppliers naman, di ba? If it's asked of us, if we ask it, then we ask it. It's the basis for us asking our suppliers to do that. But it was a very long journey to put that document together. So it wasn't the sustainability office alone. We got inputs from everybody in the organization.
It ensures that, we ethically engage the communities where we do our business. And when we say ethical engagement, it means that we are respectful of their culture, of their context, of their circumstance. We are transparent in our goals, and that we are very collaborative, to come together and really come up with a solution that's mutually beneficial.
Yeah. And actually, it has to start at home, and this is our home, the company, right? Having that one really sets the tone for our people that there's really equality in terms of opportunities, right? We value each other. There's respect for diversity, especially in the network, right?
Deb, you just had an ISO certification. Why is that important to us?
It's very important because it actually tells the rest of the world, the rest of our customers, that we are ready, especially in times of disaster. They can be assured that our network can really sustain whatever challenges the disaster will bring. We'll be able to bring back our service on time, so that when they needed it the most, it's there, it's available. So it's really crucial that we make sure that there's a disaster recovery plan available all of the time.
UN OCHA actually said that in times of disasters, calamities, and emergencies, communications is considered a critical form of need,
Yes.
equal
Yes.
to food and water.
Yes.
Because when disasters strike, the first thing that we do is, right, we call our families or we call for help. And as a telecommunications company, we are in uniquely positioned, to be able to provide that communication support before, during, and after disasters. And we are actually very proud, that Smart is actually one of the founding signatories of the GSMA Humanitarian Connectivity Charter, which means that we are committed to provide life-saving emergency communication support to communities that need it the most when disasters, emergencies, or calamities strike.
Correct.
In the Philippines, we're very lucky, no? I mean, in terms of the status of women, I mean, equity and equality for women, unlike other countries. But I guess the question is, do you think it has changed? The landscape has changed.
I think it has changed. The industry has already opened its door to diversity of opinion, ideas, diversity in terms of gender. And like before, it's like, there's like a stereotype that for certain roles, it's just for male, right? But right now, it has opened its doors. So this is now a neutral playing field wherein women can excel, can really introduce new ideas and really test themselves, right? And show the world that they're capable of really doing things, a lot more things.
You're right, the things have changed. There are more opportunities available for women. But I think what hasn't changed is that sometimes women have to still work harder. You have to prove yourself. You have to prove that you haven't gotten the position because of other things other than your professional work ethic and your CPA. But at PLDT, I think women have broken many ceilings. So if you take a look at the statistics, I invite you to look at our website. There is a gender equality report there that talks about the split between male and female, how much of our mancom or our leadership team or our executive team are women. Again, as Debbie said, it's not perfect, but we're getting there.
Yes.
Women are being given roles of position. So I'll cite something that we participated in. It's called GEARS of the Philippine Business Coalition for Women Empowerment. PLDT has leadership status in that area, meaning that we've achieved gender equity in certain parts of the HR function, which I think is something we should be proud of as a company. It's not something that's very well known, but that in itself, I think, is something, if you're considering PLDT to work at PLDT, I think if you're a female, I think all you need to do is prove that you are up to the job, that you will dedicate time and resources, and you're willing to learn, and they will give you that chance.
We're very proud that actually our people group is championing diversity and inclusion as an advocacy across the different parts of the company, and then that we have seen increased representation of women, especially in leadership positions.
Yes.
Yes, and these serve as role models really for the younger women who are aspiring to be the same, despite the gender bias, right?
Yeah, but I guess the gender bias is still is still a thing that we need to face, no? Because there's still some roles in the company whom people think is just really for male, right? For example, network. Network is a male-dominated organization, so it's a good thing that there's this equal opportunity that's being given to women. It's still a journey, right? Because really, network, when you look at it, you need really male strength, right? Especially wanted to climb the towers and so on and so forth, right? But I think it has changed right now. Before, we're like going through the needle, through the eye of the needle, because it's quite hard to compete or to work side by side, but side by side their male counterparts. But I guess we have evolved a lot, and right now, one characteristic of a woman that really differentiates us is our capability to nurture, right?
I as you mentioned, no, in network, predominantly male, I'm sure you've experienced gender bias,
Oh, yes, I
especially
did.
at the start. So
Yes.
personally, how did you navigate that?
Yes, actually, it was really very hard. But then at the end of the day, I told myself, you have to remain within your core values, right? So do not be affected by what you hear, by what you see. At the end of the day, it's still you, it's still me. So I'll have to show them what I got, who I am really as a person, no? As an employee, as a leader. And then at the end of the day, they will see it, right? They will see you, who you really are. And I guess it's not giving up. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be really tough, I will tell you. But then at the end of the day, you just need to fight and just stand straight and just look forward, focus on your goals. And eventually, you'll be able to achieve whatever you wanted to do. So we've been here in the company for quite some time already. So what advice will you give to the young people who are looking up to us, and probably that was given to you by your mentor before that made you, become successful?
I have two mantras that I believe in and that I strive for. It's leading by example, and then also just being kind to one another, having respect for one another, and that's my mantra for leadership.
Something that I have learned over the years, there will be detractors. You just have to continue to prove everybody wrong. Focus on who you are, I guess similar to what Debbie said. What is your core and what are your core values? And then stick to that and then work hard. If you have to work harder than everybody else, then so be it. And then, I guess at the end of the day, be kind. You don't have to step on anybody to go forward. Just compete with yourself. Maybe look sometimes left and right to see what others are doing, but don't take your position at the expense of somebody else. And I think there's nothing that beats hard work.
Learn as much as we can. And then don't miss any opportunities. Be always a better version of yourself, right? Of ourselves. Things will not go according to plan all the time. So if those things happen, I think we need to consciously disconnect, learn from it, analyze what happened, and then move forward.
So how do you think PLDT and Smart are making progress in terms of pushing the agenda of gender equality and women empowerment forward?
Majority of our retailers are actually women, and that's providing economic empowerment to a lot of these mothers, who are also taking cares, of their families. We're also doing our share in empowering, persons with disabilities. We have a program where we support training of women who have physical or psychological disability or are carers of people with disability by providing them, training them on remote jobs so that they don't have to leave their homes in order to be able to provide for their families and have the livelihood. We've also partnered with Connected Women. I'm sure you know that. You're part of it, Connected Women, where we also support training of women on data annotation, and we're always providing them some projects for livelihood. And then we're also supporting women farmers, corn farmers, through digital entrepreneurship and access to devices and connectivity.
At the Mancom level, Excom level, there's a lot of female executives in top positions. So the people group, our head of legal, and many, many others. What the statistics basically say is that a company that has a balance or close to a balance of gender is more productive, is more profitable because it has the benefit of having different perspectives. So PLDT is on the right track and hopefully closer to the goal of gender balance. And it's not only gender balance, it's also gender pay equity. So for the same amount of work, a man and a woman should be able to get the same
The
pay.
same, yes.
So I think, many things that we need to work on, but at least making significant progress. And maybe for those who'll be here in the next 20 years, ako visitor na lang ako.
Yes.
We will see even more progress made for as long as we sustain what we're doing today.
Yeah.
And we get more people to understand so that they can also help in making sure that PLDT continues on its journey.